Hey everyone, welcome to our new series, Bloggers We Love. Today I'll be introducing you to an awesome recipe blog called Primal Palate, and we will be making their fabulous recipe for pork dumplings. This is a grain-free, nut-free, soy-free recipe, and they taste really good. So let's get started. Haley Mason and Bill Staley are the couple behind Primal Palate, and they recently published a gorgeous new cookbook called It Paleo II. And I got one of the first prints, pretty exciting. And I get to teach you how to make this recipe for pork dumplings. This is a paleo cookbook, meaning that it's all grain-free. And at the back of the book, they've got this fabulous dietary restriction index. And what they've done is they've taken every single recipe and they've written down whether or not it's dairy-free, nut-free, egg-free, or nightshade-free. And I really appreciate that since I have so many allergies and intolerances. So this way I know exactly what I can eat in this book, and it's just a really great addition. So fabulous cookbook, and we're gonna work on the pork dumpling recipe. So let's get started. Let's start with our pork filling. I have in here a pound of ground pork. I have ginger, garlic, some cabbage in there, salt and pepper, as well as a new ingredient which I had never heard of before. And it's terrific because if you have a soy allergy or intolerance, it's a great replacement to soy sauce. And it's called coconut aminos. And it's actually it's coconut syrup from the coconut flour, and it's been aged, and it's great. You can really use it to replace soy sauce. So that's what we're going to be using in this recipe. I'll talk a little bit about that more later on in the video. So let's start with this. I'm going to be scooping this about a tablespoon and getting it into little balls. Now in the recipe, they recommend boiling them in batches, but instead I'm actually going to, I guess, do a bit of a cheater, but I'm going to be placing them on a pan and throwing them in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, for 10 minutes. Just cooking them nice and quick like that. And I'm gonna use one of these bad boys because it scoops just the perfect size and just the perfect shape. So let's do that. I've measured out my coconut flour, but as you can see, it's a wee bit lumpy. So I will sift that, and then I'll be adding tapioca starch. And that's just two flours, so nice and easy. It's actually quite a simple recipe. That's my dry ingredients. They're quite simple. So I'll mix that up, and then I'll be adding to it one egg, whole egg, as well as one egg white from one egg. So whole egg and some egg white. Now to the dough, I'll be adding some water. I'm not gonna add the entire measurement, it's about half a cup. I'm gonna add about half of that, quarter of a cup, mix it, and then just add until the dough comes together. When I first made it, I added all the water and it just ended up being too wet, so give that a try. Now the dough has come together, I've got half a tablespoon of palm shortening that I'll be folding and kneading into the dough, and then it'll be ready and we'll start rolling them out and cutting them and making our dumplings. So you can roll the dough out on in between two pieces of parchment paper, and you'll need to roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. So it's gonna be quite thin. Or you can roll it out, check down here, on a very well floured countertop, and I've used tapioca starch to flour the counter. So let's get rolling. I've rolled out my dough. Now I need to grab my little meatballs. They cooked for about 12 minutes, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. They've cooled down quite a bit. Now, depending on the size of your meatballs, that will determine the size of your cutters. This is just a mason jar lid, and this is just a very large pickle jar. I think this should do the trick. So I'll cut one out here. And then what I'll do, they look like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab a little meatball and stick it in the center and then fold up the edges to make a lovely little dumpling. So let's give that a try. Oh, I think I need a larger, yes. I need a larger, larger size. My meatballs are too big. Let's try another one. All right, and then I'll be placing them into my steam tray. So let's grab the steam tray here. Ooh, look at that. There, that's perfect. Here's my steam tray. I put a piece of parchment in there. You can use a metal one or those lovely wooden Chinese ones. And I will just place my little dumpling in here and fill that up. Now, while you're making your dumpling wrappers and putting them all together, make sure you put your nice pot of water on to boil so it's right ready. As soon as everything's done, you can put your steam tray in there. And they only take like 10 minutes. I'll double check, but it's pretty quick. So let's finish this up. And now we steam them for 10 minutes. While my dumplings are cooking, I'm just gonna chat for a moment about the dipping sauce. Now, this is a soy-free recipe, so how do you make a nice Asian dipping sauce without soy sauce? Well, they're using something called coconut aminos, and I referenced that at the beginning of the video. Now, coconut aminos are a great replacement for soy sauce, but I'm just gonna tell you right now that they don't taste exactly like soy sauce, all right? It's a little bit of a different taste, but the recipe that it's actually Caitlin, Haley's sister, developed is awesome. So I really want you to check it out. I found too that my sauce improved or just really developed a rich taste as it sat in the fridge for a couple days, and I also added a little bit of fresh ginger to it, and it tastes really good. So the recipe's in the book, and you'll have to check it out. Dumplings have cooked for 10 minutes and they are done. So I will grab them. All right. And there they are. Check that out. There you have it. Grain-free, soy-free, nut-free pork dumplings, and they taste amazing. They're so chewy and delightful. They really have an excellent texture. Let's give them a try. Really good. And this soy-free dipping sauce tastes awesome. Really great recipe, Caitlin. Well done. Love it. So this recipe can be found in Make It Paleo 2, and you can get your copy in the link below.